Well, hello and welcome. This is the teaser video for this coming Sunday, March 7th, and this is my first time having to do a second take on the video because all of a sudden the phone started ringing and you got egg orders, you got surveys, you got all kinds of stuff going on. So I'm going to try this again. so, as we think, I've been looking outside and I went for my run this morning. Most of the trail is clear, so hopefully as we're getting the warmer weather, you're starting to feel spring, but we also have to remember we're going to have these Arctic blasts coming through and keep things a little bit cold or chilly. March is really kind of that unexpected weather. You start getting teased for warm weather and then we get a sudden snowfall or whatever. But I'm kind of getting excited and I'm about ready to bring my golf clubs up from the basement up into the dining room or wherever till I move them out to my car. I like being outside more than inside, so this is kind of exciting. But as we think about the teaser video for this coming Sunday, I know last week the link went to the previous teaser, so it wasn't to the current teaser. So if that happens, you can just go to our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com and search for Pembroke Church of God, and you'll see our YouTube channel. You can subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll get a notice of every new videos, and all our videos are posted there. So if you missed last week's teaser, you can go back and look. If you want to listen to some music, you can do the praise teams or the choir. So I'm sorry if the Facebook link took you to the previous video. But this week, as a pastor, it's amazing how many times people come up to you kind of asking if something is okay or if something is allowed or what does the Bible say. Because basically you can tell what they're hoping for is that you'll give them permission to do something that they want to do. And who am I to give someone permission to do something they want to do or don't want to do? I like to tell people, do whatever you want to do. That's up to you. And there's actually scripture that kind of says that. It's in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 12 through 17. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 12 through 17. And it actually talks about things being permissible. And it says everything is permissible. You can do whatever you want. I fully believe God gave us free will to make decisions, make choices. And now understanding that just because we're allowed to do something doesn't mean it's beneficial or it's a good thing to do, or it's good for us. But as far as permissible, there's a lot of things in our country that we're allowed, or in the world or in our country that we are allowed to do that may not be good for you. And some of the things that I like to think about this is I like to combine this with the whole passage about your body being a temple, or being a temple for the Lord, and how do we take care of it? How do we prepare and how do we take care of what God has given us? And so there's a lot of things that are permissible. I mean, one of them is we could say eating. Eating is permissible. If we don't eat, we'll die. But gluttony and overeating leads to a lot of health issues. Leads to obesity, also leads to other health issues. So it may not be beneficial to overeat or do things like that, even though it is permissible. And I'll list a lot of different things during the passage, but I mean, we can throw in things like drinking, smoking, gambling, pornography, cell phones, social media, video games. These are all things that in our world are legal in one way or the other, or permissible one way or the other, but are they good or are they beneficial for you? Then you add on top of that, who's the master of who when it comes to things like that. If the object is the master and you can't go without it, then that's an issue, because now something's become the master over you, and so it's no longer your free will. You're stuck, and that's a lot of things that when we look at this passage, it's speaking to the church in Corinth, and I'll share, because it also talks about prostitution and sexual immorality in the passage. Again, 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 12 through 17. But it's funny how many people want to come up and ask me if something is okay, or if it's permissible, or are they allowed to do it. And I don't know if they think that I'm going to give them some type of blessing, Because it's amazing. A lot of people try to, there's something they want to do, and they're just looking for affirmation to go and do it, and they don't like it when I say do whatever you want to do. That's on you. You have to answer to God. I'm not your judge. I'm not your jury. So one of the best things to look at, though, is even though everything is permissible, not everything is beneficial. That's the very beginning of the passage. That's verse 12 of 1 Corinthians chapter 6. So and I like to try to look at what does it do to me physically. Luckily, I'm not one who really got into smoking cigarettes or anything like that, which is permissible, but you look at the damage it does to your lungs and cancer and stuff like that, and you throw in something like coronavirus, which attacks the respiratory system. A lot of people who've struggled with COVID-19 are people who have long-term damage to their lungs, either smoking, pneumonia, whatever that may be. So when we're talking about taking care of our body and it being a temple, then we start looking at things that are more beneficial. So it's something I'll be touching on some different subjects, but the ones I threw out there, can you do without those things? Are you the master of them, or are they the master of you? Just some things to think about. But that's what we'll be talking about this coming Sunday, March 7th. I look forward to seeing everyone there as spring is coming around the corner and some warmer days ahead in this week and next week. So hopefully we'll be outside breathing in fresh air, which is a good thing in the current situation rather than being inside breathing in recycled air. So look forward to seeing everyone again soon, and take care.